Sometimes on the shuffle, my nigga. Stop drinking, babe. Tequila don't dare hit me for leaving. It's like the indica, it is sativa. Anytime that I smoke, this girl's been looking like wife materials. Is it this or that? If I seek, I find how I feel inside. I will let you know I am super high. I can feel my eyes. They say love is dying, but I can't see you. Oh yeah, the pantas, 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 the pantas. Holy Ghost fire, holy supernatural, holy was my confidence. Holy, my cocaine, holy, my heart desire, holy, give me happiness. I know they tire, 'cause you give me ginger all the time. Holy, 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 you're my true lover, my mommy water. Give me happiness.
Salete fetsa bjang le sotho tjha.
Manje nezitha seziswana ngathi bebangakholwa ngabanye kuthola bami kithi bangasudlala la yap ayithola ba jiki jiki bangithole nomtholo wami wethola bami imongamelo yesdakwa ngale ngizoba ngena maqala ama-case nama-cause afana vele sikhole kulo lo daba shibirim shibiram shibiribiram she ivele ikubudi siphuza into engapheli sobadelela umongameli yo Olele bala, akweti bale yami, bankingo solo wami, baiteti kala, wetalo talangami, engendo bakalangami, batalangami, wetalabami. Olele bala, akweti bale yami, bankingo solo wami, baiteti kala, wetalo talangami, engendo bakalangami. Mola kuthatha Olo, size wena unthatha Maybe le majita kangilata Olo menake, kopereke 6 nyana Sila tsedi laphi sithe mola kuthatha Olo, size wena unthatha Maybe le majita kangilata Ay, ay, ay Ay, sitibane machwaleni Kemba kupi ngambeni nongakwapeni Ay, jwala ba mapeni mani Ay, ay, ay Nyinti sitibane machwaleni Kemba kupi ngambeni nongakwapeni Ay, jwala ba mapeni Olele bala Baby le majita kang lata Malume naki kopera ke sisnyana Sila tedi la pisi te mola kutacha Malume freza wena untata Baby le majita kang lata Ay 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 Ice tibane machwaleni Vimba kuping hambeni no makwapeni Ay jwala ba mapeli mani Ay 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 Yintis tibane machwaleni Vimba kuping hambeni no makwapeni Ay jwala ba mapeli
Olele bala Akweti vale yami Mangingo talo wami Walteti kala Wekalo talo ngami Emini bakala ngami Watala ngami Wetala bami Olele bala Akweti vale yami Mangingo talo wami Walteti kala Wekalo talo ngami Emini bakala ngami Watala ngami wait till I love me. La 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 me. La 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 me. La 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 me. La 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 me. La 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 me. La 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 me.
You give me life, beauty solar. Can't feel your love taking over. On a good day, I be loner. See what you make me discover. Kelly don't change my persona. The revelation is in order. All the pressure I've been under. Why I call you Ngozi? God don't bless me Ngozi. No deserve is kind loving. The loving way you show me. Private lounging on Paris with expensive room service. No one make me do like this. Girl, I got you, no worries, no worries. He dey do me wow wow. Scatter my intana. Craving on sala. No killing me kitana. Check all of his wow. Apattention in the lala. Every no disala. No killing me kitana. He dey do me wow wow wow. Scatter my intana. Craving on sala. No killing me kitana. Check all of this wow wow. Apattention in the lala. Every no disala. No killing me kitana.
I know you're waiting, I run hastily to you. In my Panamera, hola, hola, oh. I'm levitating, I feel like to see when you whisper na kupenda. The thing you put for this, your dollar. Got my heart and my soul on love. And I wanna go crazy with you. Through the night till the sun come on. Let's do it all for love. There's nothing for any quarrel. I never wanna lose this. To you I belong. This must be love.
He dey do me wow wow. Scatter my intana. Craving on sala. No killing me kitana. Check all of his wow. Apattention in the lala. Every no disala. No killing me kitana. He dey do me wow wow wow. Scatter my intana. Craving on sala. sala, don't kill me kitana. Everything you do me, I like. My best friend, the love of my life. I know fit day without. I be you want make it bad, make someone my hold on to. Girl, you know fear I did for you. I go run the matter for me and you. Make I be the reason you be living through love. Why I call you Ngozi? God don't bless me Ngozi. No deserve this kind loving. The loving way you show me. Private lounging on party with expensive room service. No one make me do like this. Girl, I got you, no worries, no worries. They do me wow wow. Scatter my internal. Craving on sala. No killing me kitana. Check all of his wow. Apattention in the lala. Every no disala. No killing me kitana.
Babylon, Babylon. Me a call.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good evening. If you can hear me, please drop your favorite emoji in the chat real quick. Okay. All right. I see you all. Good evening. Welcome to today's class. Without further ado, I would hand over to Noya to continue the class from where he stopped yesterday. All right, Noya, you can unmute yourself now.
All right, good evening, guys. Nice to have you guys here today, Saturday. So, based on where we stopped yesterday, what we've been able to go through, acquainting you guys with the interface of Figma. Can you guys hear me? Am I? Hope my voice is loud enough.
Yes, audible.
Okay, all right. So, we'll be like yesterday. I said we'll go through FigJam. FigJam is also a software used in UX. This is where you carry out most of your research, carry out most of your user personnel, your brainstorming and everything. So, but before we go into FigJam, I would love to round up on Figma. Okay, before we do that, I don't know if you guys played around Figma. I know most of you guys must have played around Figma. Then you must have maybe some challenges or questions you want to ask, right? We can still welcome that for the next 10 minutes. If you have a question, something that was not clear to you yesterday, we can still go back to it and talk about it before we move on to the next. You can drop your message on the chat box. So your question, sorry, on the chat box. So I'll just pick it up and tackle it before we move on. Okay. In the absence of none, we then move straight to, let me share my screen so you all can see my screen. Okay, Gift says, please can you show a practical way of masking an object or your own design? Yeah, during the course of this program, like you'll be taught on how to mask items properly. Then good evening, nice to have you here. Well, my question is that must we select a frame before we can create a design? If yes, what is the frame most suitable? Okay, yeah, before you design, you must be working on something. Probably you want to design a website, right? Uh, you can't just design on your white canvas, right? Let me share my screen so that you see what I'm talking about here. Okay. Hope you all can see my screen. Okay, let's move over to Figma, our design file. We created one yesterday, which was this. We open it. Okay, let me show you guys something. Let me go back. So this is the account we created yesterday, right? So whenever you come back to your Figma, in here, you'll see all the projects you've been working on will be listed below here. All the projects you've been working on. This is the one we worked on yesterday, right? These are all the projects you will be working on. Then this is the design file. This design file is only being clicked if you want to open a new design file, right? If you want to open a new design file. But if you want to continue on a particular project you're working on, you will see it here, which is this. I'll double click this and open it. So for you to know the design file you're working, it's better sometimes you rename it. If you want to rename your file, this is where to rename it. You double click on it, then you rename it tutorial. Based on any project you're working on, then once you're done typing, you click on enter. You rename it. So once we go back again, let's go back. Let me show you guys something. You see it now. Look at, as we renamed it, we are saying tutorial. So this is the project we've been working on yesterday. So whenever you come into your Figma, you log in, you will see the projects you've been working on previously. So if I want to continue where I stopped, I'll click on tutorial. But if I want to actually open a new design file, I'll click on design file here to open a new. So let's go back to where we stopped yesterday. I'll double click on it. So this is where we stopped. If you attended yesterday's class, you should be conversant with Figma UI, like the tools you use to work, right? So this is it. So now when you open, if you want to open another page on this file, we are in page 1, right? You can click on this. Here is the plus sign. You click on the plus sign. It opens another Figma page, still on this tutorial file, right? So once I click on plus, it opens another screen entirely for me to design, to work on a project. So now in this project, I have page 1, which is this, page 2, which is empty because I haven't done anything here, right? We have page 1, page 2. So you can also create another page, page 3, right? So for the free version, the maximum is 3 pages, right? Based on when we were registering, you guys saw that. So now the one we are working on, you can also delete a particular page you don't want to use, which is you right click, then you click on delete page. You right click, you click on delete page. I'm not going to delete this because this is where we're actually working at, right? So let me go back to the question. Someone asked me a question. It says, good evening, sir. Nice to have you here. Well, my student must select a frame before. Okay, yeah. It's asked, must we select a frame before we start designing? Yes, you need to select a frame because you cannot design on your canvas because one, if you're designing a website, these frames represent the size of your website, right? just like we did yesterday. Let me clear this off. If you want to design, you click on your frame, then you select. If it's a desktop size you want to work on, then you look for, you on your right hand side you see different frame sizes. You have the iPhone 14, iPhone 13, iPhone XE, iPhone 8. So no, we are working on desktop. So we'll come to the desktop, we click on it, then we see our desktop size, right? We click on desktop, it pops out, right? If it's the mobile, we also click on our frame. You look for mobile, right? You look for, okay, here is phone. You look for phone, then you select the iPhone 13, 14. So you cannot design outside of this your frames, because any content that is not inside this your frame, is outside the canvas, you it will not be in the layout, like in the frame. It won't be there. So even when you prototype it, you won't see it because it's outside. Even when you export it outside, when you come here and export it, you won't see it because it is outside, right? So when designing, the only thing you can do is that you can create a button. You can maybe type something outside, this, that. Then when you're done, you carry it inside your. Let me change the color of this. When you're done, you carry it inside your frame, because this represents your desktop you're working on, right? I hope I answered that. So let's go back. Praise God, I think I've answered that for you. So, okay, I'm still not clear on how to arrange my font and color before you design. Are we doing it on the same frame? Arranging your font, that's when you want to design, you create a style guide. That class will be handled in the future. Please, go over. Please, my name is not Nora. Noya, my name is Noya, not Nora. Okay, go over creating a new file and saving the file. Okay, he said I should go over creating a new file and saving the file. All right, let's come here. You see, I created like in this same file we are working on, I created 3 pages on it. This is our file. Tutorial is this file. If you want to move out of this file, go to your main home. You come here, back to file, right? This is your home. Back to files. Then in this now, you can see the files you've been working on. This is tutorial we've been working on. So every work we did yesterday is being saved in this tutorial, right? You saw how I renamed it, right? Unless you want to create another design file, another page, another file differently. Mind you, in each design file, you can create up to 3 pages, right? So let's go back to where we stopped yesterday. You double click on this, it opens up where we stopped yesterday, right? Then we can continue. Like I told you, your designs are being saved automatically. As far as your data is on, when you're designing, you don't need to be afraid. Wherever you stop, your work will be saved, right? So, like someone asked me yesterday, I said, okay, when you log in, for example, if you're managing your data, once you log into your file, you're in your workspace, you can off your data. The only disadvantage, sorry, is that your plugins won't load. You might want to load things which will not be able to load, but you can off your data and design. When you're done, you can on your data, then your file gets saved, then you can close the app, right? That's what I say. So let's go over to another question. You can't hear me. Wow. Chinyere, you can't hear me. Is it true? Nobody can hear. Can you guys hear me? I used the shift key to draw a circle. Yet the width and the height were different. What did I do wrong? You hold down the shift, you don't press it, you hold it down and draw, right? Hold down the shift and draw. And once you're done drawing, you remove your hand from both the shift and the mouse. How do you delete comment from a canvas? If someone commented, once you resolve the issue, you click on you see the good icon there, click on it, it goes away. Please, where do I click to unmute the Zoom? You can drop your comments here. You don't necessarily need to unmute. Okay, can you hear me? So I think that's the question. I think no other questions here. So okay, okay. You say you can hear me now. All right, perfect. So let me brush over again before moving to FigJam. Let me brush over again. You didn't answer my question. Create a new file, then rename it. You can rename. I renamed a file now. Chibweze. You can rewatch the video later. I renamed this file. Then you can also go ahead and rename each pages if it's the pages you're talking about, right? If it's the pages you're talking about, you double click, then you rename the pages. All right. So let's move over to let's take a few moments and refresh. Like yesterday, I know you all are familiar with these tools here. You all are familiar with these tools here. Everyone, the design tree also, everyone is familiar. You know, anything you're putting on your canvas here is displaying on the design tree, right? You on that is displaying on the design tree. We know how to share our design when you're done. You know how to share. For example, if you want to give the person only the view access, you know how to do that. If you want to give the person the edit access, you know how to do that, right? This is the design. Then prototype is when you want to prototype screens, right? From one screen to another. It is being done in the prototype session. During your subsequent class, it will be explained more to you guys. Then this is any item you click on, you can come here and adjust the width and the size, the angles, whatever you want to adjust on that particular item you clicked on, you can do everything here. If you want to also export your design, you can export your design with this export icon here. If you want to add effects, so all this in the when you start working on your real life projects, you will be conversant with these tools, right? But for now, the idea is just so that you guys should know all these tools and know what they are actually used for, right? So that is for that. So we'll move over to FigJam so that you all can know what FigJam is all about and how to use FigJam, right? So FigJam is where most user research are being carried out. The research you're going to carry out is being done in majorly on FigJam. In FigJam, we carry out brainstorming. In FigJam, we use it to map out user flow. In FigJam, we use it in creating user personnels. In FigJam, is also used for ideating, right? There, FigJam is uh, normally when I do work on projects, there are some things FigJam does, but sometimes I use Figma. My go to my design file to do it, right? So, but let's move over to FigJam. Let's move over to FigJam. Let me so that you guys will be familiar. So from here now, if you want to move over to FigJam, you go back to your files, right? You know how to go back to your files. Once you go back, then you come here, top right hand corner. I know most of you are more advanced in this. This is actually a beginner's class, so taking it step by step so that even the least people who don't have knowledge on this can be able to grab, right? So when you come up here, you will see FigJam board, right? Mind you, design file is when you want to create or you want to work on your UI, user interface, when you want to work on your UI. But if you want to carry out your research, you go to FigJam board, right? Then we click on the FigJam board. Let's open it up. Okay, let's just come here. Okay, it opens up. So this is the FigJam board. The white, I call it, me personally, I call it the white board, where everything is white. Then if you look at this, you see different templates, right? So I'm going to get rid of all these templates. I'll delete them. I'll delete all these templates from here. Okay, some templates not moving out. Let me go back to files. This. Okay, all these are templates you can use for your reference purposes when you're working. But I want to show you guys how this FigJam board works on, right? In here, you can rename your file once you come in. For example, if you're working to a particular project, you can rename the file, let's say health project. Health project. Click on enter, we rename it health project. So when you come down, you see all the tools you'll be needing here is down here. All the tools you'll be needing here is here. So when you also do, you see the selection tool, just like in the Figma board, when you were talking, then you see the hand tool. The hand tool, you can move around anywhere you want to go in the board, right? The hand tool. Then this is the selection tool, right? You can select any item on the FigJam board. Then we have the marker. This is the marker. Once you click on the marker, you can write whatever you want to write here, right? You also have the highlight. You can highlight stuff. You can highlight stuff if you want to highlight anything. Then we also have the worksheet tape. This is just for play. So you might not necessarily be using this, right? Then we have eraser to clean up things, right? So the eraser works, clean up things, right? Then we also have the, for example, you can change the color of your marker to any color you want, right? You can change the color of your marker to any color you want, right? Let's use the eraser to let them off. So that is for this. Then you can see your sticky notes. Your sticky notes is if you want to make comments, write something, you draw them out, you hold and drag out, right? So in this your sticky note, you can take a comment on it, use your hand to draw it across, then leave a comment on your sticky notes. You double click inside, then you leave a comment. For research. So you can also leave a comment. Then in these are different shapes we have on FigJam. These are different shapes. We have the circle, drag and drop. So in situations, okay, let me go deeper now. When I talk about carrying out your user research here, there is one thing as designers we do before we go to Figma to design. We will first use our FigJam. Sometimes I use my FigJam to sketch, right? I might do it on paper and pencil. I can also do it on FigJam. So, and also you can also use your FigJam to like draw the information architecture. What do I mean by that? Like, okay, for example, you were given a project to carry out, then you want to list from one screen to another how users will move, right? You can do that, the user flow. You can use FigJam to do that. For example, we can draw this to this. We can also bring another shape. We can also change the color of the shape. If we want. So we can use our binder. We can also draw this to this. We can also draw this to this. So for instance, now let's say a typical, this is when you want to make your, say, like sketch out your ideas before you proceed to Figma. This now will be like, okay, try something here from registration screen, registration screen. So then from there, the user goes to login screen, right? Then from login screen, the user go to the dashboard, right? So this is just a rough sketch of the movement a user carries out when he or she like enters the website or is trying to log in. The user registers, from registers, he goes to login, from login, he enters his dashboard, just like a normal user. Please, this is not elaborate, so don't take this as, I'm just showing you the things you can do on FigJam, right? I'm just showing you guys things you can use FigJam to do, but this is not, this is more than this, right? So this is how you can create out your user flow using FigJam. So now let's continue. This is a test. If you want to write tests, you can use this to write your test. Right? So you can, once you're done, you can click outside the box, then you can move this around. You can move your text around, right? Then this is actually session. You can highlight this whole session. You see how it's highlighted. You can move it. You see how you can highlight a particular session and move. You can rename the session. Rename the session and even give it a color just to make it look different, right? So this is for that. So let's Control Z and go back to where we were before. So that's for that. Then the session, the table, you can draw a table. You know, you see some websites where you see tables that have been drawn there. Then you can draw a table here. You can make a list. Mind you, there are things you carry out here. You can also carry them and put them to your Figma file while you're designing on your desktop screen, right? So let's say the table, table one, two. So you can make a table. You can still expand the table if you want. You can expand it based on the number of this thing you need, you're working on. You can still expand it. You can expand it. So these are things you can actually use FigJam to carry out, right? So we also have the stamp. This stamp is if you want to just make a kind of, you have emojis, love emoji, for example, if you're collaborating with someone, right? You share the link with someone is working on this. Maybe I like this table, you can use a thumbs up. Then I'll come here, I'll thumbs up, like, okay, I like this, right? So putting a thumbs up shows that I like this, right? For example, I can also, in this, I can use thumbs down. Maybe I don't like it. I'll be like, okay, no, I don't like this. This is not good, right? This is not good. So I might leave a comment there if I wish. You guys know how to add a comment. Like, okay, this is how you should do it, right? So that's it. Then in here we have a lot of templates you can use. You have a lot of templates you can use. Like me personally, when I come, most times I use templates instead of starting afresh. In maybe I want to create a user personnel. You see a lot of templates in user personnel. So some of you might be confused, like how does this apply to your design? Yes, as time goes on during the course of this program, you also learn how to use FigJam. You guys will still make use of this FigJam in your project, right? You carry out a lot of research here. This is where you, most times this is where you carry out most of your rough sketch, right? So then here we have okay, up here, if you come up by the right hand side, this is me. You know, if I'm collaborating with someone, the next person's name will be here. Just like the design file, you can also share your file here. The same way I told you guys, you can give someone an edit access, you can give someone only a view access. So mind you, when you give someone only a view access, you copy the link and you send to the person, right? Then when you give someone only an edit access, you also copy the, once you put it as a, you copy the link and you send to the person, right? So there are a lot of things you can actually do in this. Once you're done here, you can also carry the contents you have here to your design. For example, maybe as I've created this table, I want this table to be on my desktop screen in my design, right? I can just carry it or I can copy. I'll click on it and copy it. Click on it. Let me click on the table. So I'll show you guys how to move items uh, FigJam to Figma. I can copy it. Then once I've copied it, I might open another file, which is my this thing. This is our file, right? Where we are working on. So I can come here, zoom in, then what will I do? I will paste it, right? I'll paste the table here. This is our table, right? Mind you, we didn't create this table in our Figma design file. We did it here at our FigJam, right? This is where we created the table, right? Here. Then we'll move into our design. Maybe I'm designing a website that needs a table, right? Then I went to FigJam to create a table and bring it and put it into my desktop frame, right? And put it into my desktop frame. So these are some of the things FigJam does, right? So once you're done with what you're doing on the FigJam, you can move those items into your frame. If you're working on a mobile frame, or if you're working on a desktop frame, you just copy and bring it back to yours. Maybe you see some website that have a table, you just place it where you want to place it, right? Right, for that. So there's something I didn't show you guys yesterday. Let me get rid of this stuff. Though I know in subsequent classes to still be talked about. When you put a particular frame on your canvas, you want to design, right? The first thing you have to do is to make use. I didn't talk about layout grids here, right? Layout grids helps keeps your design in a particular alignment. Like it doesn't exceed a particular alignment. Like, let me click on it so you understand what I mean. You click on it, then you see the layout grids lines will appear on the desktop. The layout grids line. Though when you're creating your style guide, it will still be talked about and it will still be explained, right? So this is how to create layout grids. You can come here, put the columns. Let's use stretch count. Let's use 8. Width the gutter. Let's use 32. So there are so many settings for this, depending on what you're working on, right? There are so many settings for this. So this helps you keep your items in shape. For example, if you're designing on your desktop frame, you don't want it to span across through the frame. So you can use layout grids to know how to place your item. Let me give you an example. Let me say, let me get a triangle. I don't want it to pass this last grid. Let everything be on these grids, like. So it helps you to keep in check of the designs, and it makes your designs more. So if you observe very well, once it gets to the last grid, the red line appears that, okay, it has actually like in place, right? Telling you. So Figma, one beautiful thing about Figma is when you're doing something right, like it tells you, okay, this is it, is okay here. It shows you some lines telling you that, okay, this is okay, this is fine, this is perfect, right? So that's that for this. Then let's go back to our FigJam. So now in FigJam, this is where when you guys get to the point whereby you will start talking about brainstorming, mapping out your user flow, creating personnels, and ideating. FigJam is what you will be using uh, for this, right? FigJam is what you guys will be using for this. So let me show some templates, how to get templates. Let me get this off on FigJam. Because as a designer, once you go out there and carry out your research, you come to FigJam to carry out most of the research you've done. Let's say user personnel. User personnel. There. Okay, we have a user personnel here. So this is a template for user personnel already. I just click on user personnel, then I brought out the template. So it saves me time from, you find out that these are the content of I'll need when creating user personnels. So whatever I want to do, I can just search on it and it gives me the template for it, right? Without me having to come into design. The only thing I need to do is to bring the person's image and the person's and impute. I'm good to go. So apart from this, let's search for another template. Let's search for user flow. Let's say user flow. User flow, okay. There are lots there. Okay, I add this template. Okay. This is a user flow. Thing about FigJam, you might search for a particular thing, a lot of stuff will come out with it. So this is when I tell you brainstorming and carrying out your design task. If you come here now, I search on user flow. It has given me a template of a particular user flow I can use to work on mine, right? For example, it gives me, see, from the home page, product or services, products. Then in this now, if probably I have a sketch of where I'm going to design, I will implement this here. It gives me an idea, okay, from this home page, the user will click on here. It takes the user, like the flow, right? In case you don't understand what user flow, you don't need to bother your brain about it because it will be discussed in future classes, right? Just don't bother your brain about it. Just I want you guys to like get the basic, like this is how it's going to be, right? So it's like getting a first-hand information about something, right? So from homepage, the user clicks on login. From login, the user clicks on probably on his dashboard, moves the user to the dashboard. From the dashboard, the user can see the products the company is selling. From seeing the products, the user will see being able to make payment online with his card details, make payment to if you want to add to cart, like the flow the user will carry out, right? The flow, right from the time the user clicks on www.jumia.com, right? That flow now, once the user clicks on there, it takes the user to the Jumia's landing page, right? If you have an account, uh, it takes the user to create an account, right? If you already have an account, it takes the user will now click on login. Like from login to the time you start searching for the product you want to buy, from the product you want to buy to the point that you've made payment, from the point you've made payment, like when they are carrying out all these steps, these are different screens popping up from the time you log in to the time registration. These are different screens. So these shapes, you're seeing here actually defines different screens you're going to be coming across, right? The flow is going to take for the user to actually achieve his or her aim, right? So these are some of the things you can do on FigJam, right? This one I'm not. I hope I'm not the only one in this class. Let me go back. Sorry. Hello, guys. Are we still together here? Please, leave something on the comment section. Let me know. I have some people listening to me here. I can hear. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. You're not seeing my screen. Someone said the screen is not moving. Like, okay. Ogadima, I'll take your question later. Let me just finish up the FigJam. Victor, you're not seeing my screen. My screen is moving now. I'm sharing my screen now. Hmm? Please, are you guys seeing my screen? My screen is moving. It's moving. Okay. Yes, we are seeing it. Okay. Hello, Zoobs. If you're on the call, please, are you seeing my screen? Some say they're not seeing my screen. I don't know. Please, if you're on the call, you just let me know if actually my screen is being displayed. Okay, someone say you're seeing my screen. So let me get back to what I was saying earlier on. So in FigJam, you can carry out a lot of your rough work here, right? You can carry out your brainstorming. You can carry out the idea of what you want to actually design before you actually put it on Figma. So this for user flow. Let me get another template to show you guys how this works. You click on the select tool, you highlight all, you delete, right, to get it off, right? So in here, you can get I've gotten user personnel button. So the idea I'm trying to let you guys know is that in here, there are a lot of templates you can actually carry out on FigJam, right? There are a lot of things you can actually carry out on FigJam. It's not that you might not necessarily might not do it on Figma. Like on your design file, you can actually carry out a user persona on your design file, right? But professionally is best done on FigJam, right? It's best done on FigJam. So let me take you guys on. Let me go back and take you guys question now. Someone asked me a question. Okay. Okay, Chidima, you say you're a bit confused. Where are you confused? Please, Chidima, which area are you confused? People say you can't see my screen, but I'm sharing my screen now.
Hi, Noya. Maybe stop sharing and start sharing again because actually it's not on right now.
Are you serious? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Why do I do this? Oh. Can you guys see it now?
Yes, it's on now.
Okay. So wait, what I've been explaining since I haven't been showing my screen or what? Like nobody has been able to see my screen all this way.
For a bit, it was on at first, then it went off, so you might need to just go over it again.
Okay. Okay. I'm so sorry, guys. I was not aware. Sorry. Okay. Let me just briefly, let me just briefly recap all I've said so far. Okay. Okay. This is the FigJam whiteboard. This is where you carry out your brainstorming, your user flow, your personnels. When you are ideating, this is where you carry out everything. So, but I want to find out these tools. Hope you're able to get what these tools are used for. From the selection tool to the hand tool to the eraser to the sticker notes to the shapes to the text. I hope you guys got what the tools are used for. So I was at the point of showing you guys different templates we have in FigJam that you can use to edit to work on yours. You can use to edit. We have the user personnel templates, user personnel. You have the user personnel templates. You can search the particular one you want. Once you get it, you click on it. It's up. Then this is actually the user personnel. Anyone you don't need, you get it off from your whiteboard. Get it off. Then you pick what you actually needed. This is the user. We want to get a user personnel for what we're working on. Then you edit it to what you're working on. When creating user personnel during your subsequent classes, uh, you'll be taught on this: the age, the occupation, location, more information. So the bio of your user. This is after you must have carried out research. Then you know your user, right? So that's for user personnel. Then we have the user flow. Also search for. Let's use our template again and get a user flow template. User flow. Yeah. This is our user flow templates. So user flow is like before you start designing, this is the flow showing you from what screen the user will be moving next, right? From what screen the user will be moving next. Okay, let me just do a little edit on this. Okay, let's say from the landing page or from the home page, the user will click on registration, right? You know, you can edit this yourself. Double click on it and edit. Once the user clicks on the register, once he's done registering, the user will click on login, right? Once the user clicks on login, from login, the user will click on move to his dashboard. Dashboard. Once the user moves to his dashboard, from dashboard, this user will click on search to search for the product he wants to buy. Search for products. As the product page will pop up, right? Then from there, the user keeps moving till he or she has achieved his aim. If the buses are not okay, you can still add duplicates. For example, you can still add to this. You can bring in a shape. Let's say the shape here, then your connector to this. Then you
Hi,
can
Noya,
write.
can you hear me? Noya?
Yes, I can hear. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh,
Hello.
your network is fluctuating a bit. Can
My
you
network.
check it? Yeah. So
Okay,
maybe
let me
like
check.
try putting it off and on or something. Yes, please.
Can you hear me
Because your
perfectly
voice
now?
has been breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
It's still breaking up. You're breaking up. Okay. I think some people were saying they can hear him clearly. So, okay, so when he comes back on, we'll see if it's clearer or not. All right. Um,
Hello, Zoobs. Can you hear me?
yes, it's much clearer now. It's better.
Okay.
Better.
All
All
right.
right. So, can go ahead.
Okay. All right. Let me share my screen. Okay. So let's move on. So right, did you guys get up to this point? I was using this user flow to explain to you how this works. I think you guys did. So this is a typical user flow, right? So this at for you now move into your design file to design, right? So there are a lot of things you can do on FigJam. There's a lot of things you can do on FigJam. You can use here for your brainstorming. Like once you're done with the interview of your user, you can have a brainstorming session here to know what your user actually wants, right? So let me take some questions. Let me take some questions. You can bring in your questions in any area you're confused. You can bring in your questions. Okay. Okay. Augustine, you can type in your questions, right? Type it in the chat box. I will reply, Augustine. Okay. One bot solve Ugandan Bosharia. What's Bosharia for you, Noya? Okay. Thank you, Chubeze. It's better now. All right. Okay. Asogo, you say, I want to be clarified on something. When we say user, who are we referring to? Okay. Your user is the person you're designing a product for, right? Your user is the person you're designing this product for. Don't worry, in subsequent classes, you'll be clarified. Please, where is share button in FigJam? Let me show you where share button is in FigJam. For example, if you're given a task on FigJam and you were asked to share your screen, to share your file with your probably your mentor or your facilitator, this is the share button here, right up corner. Once you click on it, it pops out. Then if you're asked, probably your facilitator or your mentor might say, give me an edit access. If you're asked to give an edit access, you come here, you put it can edit, right? Then you copy the link, then you send to the facilitator or the mentor, right? That is that for FigJam uh, share, right? Okay. Okay, Ashogo Emmanuel, I think I've clarified you, right? How does FigJam really apply to Figma? Is just to rough work or there's more to it? Okay, FigJam is where you carry out your brainstorming because after your, I don't want to really go deep. Okay, FigJam is a place where you carry out your user personnel, where you carry out your brainstorming because one thing in design is not about before you see a website that is being designed, there are a lot of thought that has gone into that design. There is a lot of brainstorming session that has gone into that design. There is a lot of mapping out user flow. Like there's a lot of creating like a lot of ideas, and all these are done in FigJam, right? So when you get this right in FigJam, this is when you now move into your Figma and design. Okay, please, where is share button in FigJam? I've done that. I've shown you that attribute, Victoria. I tried creating the table, but the row and column were not visible. You tried creating the table. Okay, let's go back there. Let me create a table. You tried creating the table, right? Let's get this off. So if you want to create a table, you come here, this icon. Are you seeing where my mouse is? You click on it, then you draw. You hold down your mouse, you left click, you draw it, then it keeps expanding with how many rows or columns you want. You have it. If you still want to expand, you see the plus icon. Once you hover on this, it expands. You see the plus icon. Once you hover on this, it expands, right? So you get the number of rows and columns you want, right? Right, for table on FigJam. I tried creating table. Okay, Stanley, I think I've answered your questions on creating a table. How does FigJam really apply? How does FigJam really apply to Fig? Just the raw folk. I've explained this. Does it mean we only design on FigJam and send to Figma? No, you don't only design, you don't even design on FigJam. The major UI design you carry out is on your Figma file. The major design you carry out is on your Figma file. FigJam is for brainstorming. FigJam is for you to just uh, carry out your user flow, creating your personnels. But when in terms of designing your website, designing your mobile apps, you see, is done on your Figma, right? Okay, please, how do you delete a page in Figma? All right. Miss Summer, let's go back to Figma. Let me show you how to do that. Let's move out. You remember how to go out of FigJam? You can go to back to files, then you go to our previous work tutorial, you double click on it, it opens up. Once it opens up, then let's create, this is our first page we are working on. For example, I created another page, right? This is page 2. I can rename it to dash, right? So then when the page 1 to tutorial, right? Double click on it. To change to whereby you can now type. You click on enter once you're done typing. Then let's assume I want to delete the Apple dash. I'll right click on the Apple dash, scroll down, then see delete page. The Apple dash page is being deleted, right? I think Ms. Soma, have answered your question on that. Can we still add a column after moving the table to Figma? After moving the table to Figma, mind you, when you're designing a table, you'll be taught that, but Figma, there is a project I worked on. I designed a table on Figma myself without having getting it from FigJam. You can design a table on Figma, but FigJam makes it more easier for you. You can just put the table sketch, then it comes up with the way you want it. How can I delete on FigJam? If you want to delete on FigJam, click on the icon or on the item you want to delete and press delete. Right? If you want to still bring it back, you press Ctrl Z to bring it back. Right? Benita, have I answered your question? Yeah. Can 5 persons be connected to one Figma page when brainstorming? Yes, 5 persons can be connected to one Figma page while working. I've worked on a project whereby we were actually 7 working on a Figma file, right? Please, sir, I don't understand FigJam as okay. What is the difference? How do we delete it? Means I've answered you. What is the difference between Figma and FigJam? Figma is where you carry out your design. Figma is where you carry out your UI design. FigJam is where you carry out your research, your brainstorming, your user flow, right? Yes, you can take it that is a kind of a rough book. Though a video will be dropped for you on FigJam and Figma. I'm going to drop a video for you guys for you to watch that will be self-explanatory in addition to this class, right? So yes, 5 persons can be connected to one Fig, just like the way we did it on I showed you guys on Figma. 5 persons can be connected on it. Okay. As so let's say for a product designer, all that is needed is Figma and FigJam. Yes, you need both softwares. Mind you, the FigJam is once you load your Figma app or the web-based version, once you load it on your dashboard there, you're going to see design file and FigJam. Let me show you guys. So all the both are on the same software. Let me log out. In this now, this is design file, right? This is where I will carry out my UI design. This is FigJam board, where I carry out my research. So if I want to design a website or a mobile, I'll click on design file. It throws up my design file where I can design my website. But if I want to brainstorm, maybe sketch out my idea, right? I can load FigJam board to sketch out my idea, right? Where I can carry out my research. That is why I said it's majorly used by UX designers, majorly. I hope I've answered that. Okay, sir, please didn't share the introductory video on FigJam with us. You're going to get the video tomorrow. Francis, you're going to get the introductory video to FigJam, the introductory video to Figma, and also you guys task. You're going to get it tomorrow. You've made my evening. All right, thank you. You've also made my evening. Okay, Chibueze says, how many files can be created? How many pages can be created in a file? You said 3 pages can be created in a Figma file. Then the question is, how many files can be created in Figma? You can create so many files, but you know you're using the free version, so it has limitations of files you can create, right? Let's go back to there. So the free versions has limitations, right? You can just, because if you can create as many files as you can, that means there will be no need of people having to pay for the paid version, right? So the paid version has some other features embedded into it also, right? This is another file I've created, right? I've created another file. Let me go back again. Let me rename it to basic one. Basic one. Let's go back. So you will see basic one, you see tutorial. Let's create another file again. We've created another one. Let's rename it standard. Right? So mind you, in each file you create, you can create up to 3 pages. Page one, let's rename it. It should be page two, let's rename it Miro. Create another page three, let's rename it widgets. Page four, okay. You can create another as multiple pages as you're working. Spectrum. So you can create as page 9, page 10, page 11. As multiple pages you can create on this particular uh, file. I think these are little adjustments that has been made on Figma. So you can create as multiple pages as you want. So you can use a particular page for a particular project. Then you can use another page for a particular project, right? So as you can come to SOT, maybe you're working on a project about SOT, then you like, okay, you said you should use this, bring out your frame, you have this, then you go over to mirror, you are working on a particular another project entirely, right? You can do this, right? So see SOT, like I don't know if you understand, I can be working on different projects actually. I think this is a very good addition on Figma. So Chibueze, have I answered your question? So you can create multiple pages, right? Chibueze can create multiple pages on your file while you're working. Okay, so I think that is, I thought as much because I was limited while using free Figma last month. Okay, 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 Figma, you've made my evening. All right, Figma made your evening. Okay, so in summary, uh, uh the design file and the uh, Figma, sorry, the design file and the FigJam board, they are both different. They are not the same. In your design file, this is where you carry out your UI design. In your FigJam, this is where you carry out your research, your brainstorming session there, right? This is where you carry out two different. These are two different uh, things you're going to be working on, right? Yes, no, you've answered my question. Like I said earlier, I will give you Uganda Bushara. Okay, I'm waiting for the Ugandan Bushara. All right, thanks a lot. In case you want my wife, my sister is here. Oh, Haba.
Okay, Noya, we have a
Yeah.
question on YouTube, so
Okay.
I'm just pasting it. We have sent it.
Oh,
So please the template from FigJam to design FigJam.
hello, Zoops. I can hear you very well. Is it my network?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, loud and
I
clear.
was trying to read the question. So it says, can we move a template from FigJam to design on Figma? I think what this person needs to say is Figma.
Yes, you can move. You can move it to Figma. You can move a template from FigJam to Figma, just like I did before. You copy it, then you go to your design file, then you paste it.
All right. So I think if there are more questions on YouTube, I'll just bring it here.
All right. Olusegun, you say, are there more apps that can be used for product design? Yes, there are apps that can be used. We have Sketch, we have Adobe XD, but Sketch and Adobe XD, like I said earlier on, most of the standard tool right now used for design is Figma. Even there are some jobs you apply online, they will say their proficiency in Figma, right? You see that this person must be good in Figma. So most companies, most not will I say, or let me not say all, let me say majority of companies there make use of Figma, right? most companies have a paid version of Figma that when they even employ you, they onboard you, you you're just you don't need to work on your own Figma file. Like most of the project I've worked on is not even on my file. It's on company. Normally you sign an NDA contract. They call it non-disclosable this thing. Then you cannot disclose what you're building for them. So you're working on their Figma file, right? So Figma is the standard software for product design, but there are still other softwares.
Okay, Noya, we have another question from YouTube. The person says, so if I open a new page for a different design on a Figma file and I share the link, the other pages will reflect on the link I shared.
Zeus, can you come again, please? Sorry.
So the person is asking, yeah, if the
Yeah.
person opens a new page for a different design on a Figma file and shares the link, that won't the other pages on that file reflect?
That particular page is what is going to show there. That
Okay.
page you shared the file is what the person is going to see. Okay, if you create a frame for desktop, how do you convert it to be doing the same thing on phone? Or are you going to be designing also for phone? Okay, Chimobi, if you're designing for desktop, for a desktop screen, there's what's called making your design responsive, right? Let me go back to my screen here. For example, now in this screen, let a desktop. So, for example, when you now start designing for desktop, and after designing for desktop, you now come to design for iPhone. It's very stressful, right? It's like giving yourself double work, right? So now there's what's called making design responsive, right? So when you're done, let's delete the mobile. When you're done designing for desktop, you're going to make this desktop responsive, right? You will duplicate it, though that will be talked about in previous classes. This is where auto layout comes in play, right? Auto layout helps you to make your design responsive. The constraint aspect of it helps you to make your design responsive, right? So don't worry, in subsequent classes, you will learn how to make design responsive so that you won't have to design for mobile. Because imagine designing for desktop, design for mobile, design for iPad, design. No, no, that's a hell lot of work. So in subsequent classes, you're going to learn how to do that, right? I think I've answered your question on that. Can we move a template from FigJam to design? Yes, I've answered that. Okay, thank you, sir. It's clear. Okay. No, yeah, this is my last question for today. Chubeze. What's the rational rational connection between we as product designer and the software developer? Is there any point at which both careers intertwine? Okay, this question is not well, but let me just okay. The thing that actually you as a product designer, you're in charge of designing uh the product, right? The software developer is in charge of writing codes on what you've designed to come to life. Let me give you a real life explanation. It's like you molded something, just like the way God molds human being. You molded something, but for that thing to work properly, you need to infuse blood into it, right? You need to put in blood into it to function, right? So, for example, as a designer, you've molded, you've designed, right? So you need the developer to write code, let's take it, the code is like putting blood into what we've modded for it to be functional. I think this explains better, right? Both careers do not intertwine. These are both, if developers are working on, designers are working on like on theirs, right? Okay, you're really a teacher. Thank you, Chimobi. When designing for mobile, is it the iPhone frame that can be used, and does it work for other phones like Androids? Yes, if you pick Chinyere, if you pick for example, let's go back to the screen. This is the for the desktop. Let's pick the if you pick a particular screen, be it iPhone, you click on frame. If you click a particular phone, be it iPhone 13, 14, once you click on it and design on this iPhone, it can work on any other screen, be it Android or Android, any mobile at all, as far as it's mobile. So once you design on this screen, it's going to work on any mobile at all. Let's go back here. When designing for mobile, is it the iPhone frame that can be used, and does it work on? Why I prefer using iPhone frames, because it's will I say it's just because it's used to me, like this is something I've been working with for a long time though. So most times I want to work on this thing is iPhone frame, right? So but preferably it's good to use iPhone 13, preferably in terms of uh, uh, mobile is used to, but in terms of desktop, use the desktop. This, let me show you guys. Use this in terms of desktop. Use this desktop that has size 1440 1024, right? 1140 1024. So it also helps when they are writing codes on it. So I thought we are still on ones that do that. Okay, what are minimum specs requirements you recommend for a laptop for Figma, and it's better to use mouse over keyboard when design? I actually I use mouse when designing, external mouse, right? And also for a minimum laptop for Figma, I think preferably to avoid system hanging, an 8 gig RAM system should work, right? An 8 gig RAM laptop system should work on this on Figma. It should load Figma. 4 gig RAM will work, but you don't want a situation whereby your software will be hanging something, right? Okay, Olusegun, I think I've answered you. I thought you are still okay. I'm loving this. I'm also loving this there. Bro, just flex on. No. Bro, just flex on. Yes, I'm flexing on. Thanks a lot, Noya. You answered the question. Let me save my next worry, please. Okay. Let me save my next worry question till tomorrow. I won't stop worrying your life until I perfectly understand. Yeah, Chine, this one is really targeting. It's targeting. We can use the mouse on the laptop, right, for movement. Yes, you can use the mouse on the laptop, Stella, for movement. I know it's too early to start discussing wireframing, but is it necessary to have a tablet for wireframing? Wireframing, you're going to do your wireframing on your design file, right? Don't worry, there is a class for wireframing. When it comes to that class, you understand better. It's not necessary to have a tablet for wireframing. It's not necessary. You can do that on your system. Don't you can do that on your system. Thank you very much. You're very patient. Thank you. Wireframing is so fun. Yes, yes. When you get to that, wireframing is fun because is when you're trying to build your this thing, your website or your mobile app. Before you get to your high fidelity designs, where you get to your main designs, you pass through the sketching session. From your sketching, you have the wireframing, you have the low fidelity, the high fidelity. Then, yeah, the high fidelity is the actual final design, right? Okay. Okay. Augustine say make una dey calm down. Yes, so you both should be calming down, please. Peace your mark. Which mark is good. Anyone you have, anyone works, right? Please, I want to get this straight. Do I have to manually place my components on each mobile or desktop frame that is from landing page to exit? Please, I want to get this straight. Do I have to manually place my components on each? No, you can design on your frame because you need to place your items on your frame properly. If that's what you're talking about, right? You need to place your items on your. For example, if you're designing on a desktop, let me go back to my. For example, you're designing on this deck now. Let me say I create a rectangle, right? I create this. I need to place this where I want it to be, right? I need to place this the place. I can't just leave it anyhow. This frame signifies the website I'm working on. I need to this rectangle, I need to place it, right? For example, let's say let's say hold on, let me zoom in. Let's say this is a ball. So it can be played, right? Played. Please read more to understand. So, for example, I came up with this, and I came up with a button that says read more, right? Then Shift A, make it an auto layout, make the edges 8, uh, 8, then give it a fill. So, for example, let me say this button now, right? Let me give it a stroke of 4. Control Z, no, 4, then. So, so can you see this now? I don't know if you guys can see my screen properly. So, since I've designed this, right? This ball, it can be played. Please read more to understand. And there is a button that says read more, telling the user to click on read more, right? So in this situation, I can't just place this anywhere. I need to place it based on what I'm actually working on. You remember, this is my frame. This is my frame. So maybe this is an image. Then let me increase the font of this. Also increase the scale this a little bit. So I need to place this properly where I want it to be. For example, I want it to be here on this. This is where I want it to be on the website, right? So I'll highlight it. I'll place it under this. Let's assume this is an image of people playing football. Then you have the right top. This is this is a ball. It can be played. Please read more, right? So you need to align your items on the frame you're working on and place them well. I think this answers your question, right? Who asked that question? Where framing is from? Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, please, I want to get this straight. Do I have to manage my company on each mobile? Uh, Ubon, I think I've answered your question with the practical example I showed you. Okay, where can we find the plugin in Figma? We have a lot of plugins. Which in particular are you looking for? Like when you go to your Figma file, you can right, then you see plugins, right? You see different plugins are here. Once you right click plugin, if you're searching for a plugin, you click on manage plugins. Then you search the plugin you want, right? You can use Unsplash to get images on your design. Unsplash is a plugin, right? You can use it to get quality images when you're working, right? You can use it to get quality images. For example, let's pick out this image. This, you pick it out, then you drop it on your file, on your canvas, right? It loads up, right? It loads up, it's still loading. I think my network is very poor this evening. My network is very poor this evening. It's still loading. So this is why when I was talking about you having your internet on when designing, so for example, if you don't have an internet connected while designing, these plugins won't load, right? You won't be able to load your plugins because your internet is being disconnected. Or unless whenever you want to like load a plugin, you now have to go and on your data back then to load a plugin. And, that is time consuming, right? That is time consuming. So sometimes it's better you just leave your data on while you're working, right? So that's it. So once it loads up, you will not see the image. This is the image, right? Look at the image. You can now scale it down to the size you want, right? You can scale the image down, right? You can scale the image down. Please, okay. I don't know if I should go more on this. Those in subsequent classes. Okay, let me just explain to you. When you use move to when you want to scale an image down to maintain the initial width and height, you use scale. Don't use move. This move to use scale. You click on scale. Scale maintains the quality of the image, right? Scale maintains the quality of the image and it scales it accordingly, right? So that's that for plugin. Let's move over. Let me pick. Victoria, I think I've answered your question. From my experience, Nova Celebrate Group, they score lowest for group projects. You're a good teacher. All right, thank you, Priscilla. My own is only managed plugins, not like your own. Okay. Now, thank you for the image plugin. I've been looking for where to add pics from. All right, thank you, Chinedu. There's a lot of image plugins there. You can also check free pick. Free pick. Most times I do get images. That's where when I'm working on some of my projects, right? Okay, thank you, Noya. Informa, thank you too. All right. So, Zoops, is there any more question from YouTube?
Okay, no, I don't think there are more questions from there. Do you want to call it a day?
Okay.
Someone is asking, how do I save my work in Figma? I think that's the
Uh,
last question from YouTube.
okay. How do you save your work? Your work is being saved automatically as far as your data is on, right? As far as you're working and your data is on, your work is being saved up. You don't need to click on any save or this thing. Once you're working, your work is being saved. That's the beauty of Figma. Thank you, Noya. Enjoy your class. Thank you, Former. Thank you. Okay. Yes, everything is so clear. All right. So tomorrow, oh, so to go work out like me. People are funny. So tomorrow I'll be dropping the video on uh the introduction to Figma and the introduction to FigJam, right? How do I export in Figma? Haven't I shown you guys that? Okay, let me briefly do that. If you want to export your work on Figma, for example, you want to export this desktop frame, right? You click on the desktop frame, right? Then you come down here, you see export. Once you click on the desktop frame, you see export, right? Once you click on export, you see it close up. Then when you are exporting, please note this. This one is represent the quality the frame will carry, right? So when you're exporting, at least 2x is okay, right? 2x or 2.5x is okay, right? So 2x, it gives it a very good quality when you're exporting. And when you're exporting, you put it on PNG. It depends. You can export on JPEG, but majorly is on PNG. You can also, these are the different files you can export in: PNG, JPEG, SVG, or PDF, right? So you click on PNG, then you click on, you can preview the frame. When you preview the frame, it shows up here. It shows up here. Then you click on Export Desktop 1, right? You click on Export Desktop 1. So that's okay. Let's go back here. You need to change your name. Oh, thank you. Okay. You get kicked out. Zombie bro. Okay, I just ready. Please close the Figma tab after design. Can I still regain the work next visit? Victor, yes. Victor, once you close your Figma file, as far as your data is on your work is being saved automatically, right? So whenever you go back to your Figma, you see where you stopped and continue. Yes. So please, how long have you been into design? Okay. I've been into design for a long, long time. A long, long time. Thank you. This has been interesting. Thank you too. Thank you. Thank you. Please. Okay, thank you too. I'm happy to have you. Genesis is happy to have you. Yeah, everything is being recorded, Bernardine. Everything is being recorded. What is the full meaning of Noya? All right, so in the absence of no question, I believe everything is being recorded, yeah? Benjamin is asking how long, sir. Just take it that I've been into design for a long time, right? So in the absence of no question, I think we'll be wrapping it up. Then tomorrow, you all are going to get the videos, the video and the material, and the tax will also be accompanied to it by tomorrow. You all are going to get it. Then, if you have any questions or any issue, though, and other facilitators will take other topics, though. So any of the facilitators can still ask your questions. They will still welcome it. So, Zoops, are you still on the call? Thank you. Thank you
Hi,
too.
Noya. Hi, Noya. I am still here. So, you- please don't come and see my eyeglass. I need you to see it. Okay, so thank you very much, Noya, for the class. Guys, thank you for coming out tonight. See you. Noya, do they have a class tomorrow?
A class tomorrow? Not really. I think we've touched practically everything. Unless maybe it's a question and answer class, which
Okay,
I
so
I don't think is necessary because I've answered
okay,
them
so
practically
since
answered
we
every
still
question
have
here.
yes, and
You say?
they're still going to have a Q&A session in 3 weeks. So it's
Okay.
fine. Yes, and you're going
So
to be
tomorrow
on
I'll
that
just
session.
send out the the videos. I'll send out the videos
All right.
tomorrow and
Okay,
everything they need.
guys.
All right.
So you do not have a class tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be your watch your videos day and do your task. All right. So cheers, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good night. Noya, could you stop sharing your screen, please? Okay.
Babylon, Babylon. Me a go run till I know you. Babylon, Babylon. Me a go run till I find them who's scared.
They say make I no go enemies, then set trap. I walk out with the leg like who they sell a truck. Normally I no fear, my body I dey tell you. If Corona boss me, I no still wear mask.
Say you remember when we no feel the tears back. When we see the pushy and us go to first stack. This is my story, you no go fit left. Cause not the guy matter we go fit to red class. Yeah, yeah. Babylon, Babylon. Me a go run till I find them who's scared. No, yo. Babylon, Babylon. Me a go run till I find them who's scared.
Stubborn for you go. Blood like a cool for your face like Okoro. Leader, lion, yes I be idolo. Fight and face my fears, no ojoro. Fire burn Babylon, yes. Man I move like a stallion, yes. Meeting strong, me not tag along, yes. What best are the champion? Big Tony carry on.
Keep it the shake me, say I no be man pow. I got it setback if I easy my setback. She a book, I get to pick it. Then I stop on pass government and agree to it us. Yeah, yeah. Babylon, Babylon. Me a go run till I know you. Babylon, Babylon. Me a go run till I find them who's scared. Me a go run
your bumper. You say you me lick it in front of my honor. I'm come collect my long anaconda. And can take on this strike like thunder. Make a follow you for back like a Honda. I'm come collect my long anaconda. You say you me lick it in front of my honor.
And if I'm leaking now, I'm in military. And I go easy place, it. How many millimeters man go run? For I chop your delicious.